Patanjala Yoga Darshanam Atha Samadhi Padah Atha Yoganushasanam. This is the first sutra. Atha Yoga Anushasanam. Anushasanam, this word is a important word. Here begins the study of the discipline of yoga. As I said, this is also, everything is packed. Sutras are aphorisms and they're in very packed format. So we will now unpack the sutra. Okay. Atha here implies the commencement of a subject. One of the mistakes people make, especially in modern times, is they say, oh, Atha means now. So if you look at the dictionary, one of the meanings is now. So it means being in the present moment. So yoga is being in the present moment. That is a completely wrong interpretation. It signals that the student has completed the necessary prior preparation, which is some relevant purification of the mind, and is now fit to receive the specific instruction. So it is a formal declaration. Here begins the authoritative instruction of yoga. Now so Atha is that. Atha, commencement of a subject. Now let's unpack the word Anushasanam. Anu means to follow. So Shas means rule. So in fact, the 14th or the 13th chapter of the Mahabharata, one of the longest chapters, it's Anushasanika Parva. So Yudhishthira, coming after the war, he's coming back to the rule. Anushasana means again the commencing the rule. Shas means rule. Here it means the discipline. So Anushasana means following the discipline of yoga. How following? Shasanam literally means ruling. Here means instruction. Therefore, Anushasana means the instruction that follows the tradition. That's very important. So Patanjali is codifying and systematizing ancient wisdom rather than creating a new philosophy. This is what Vyasa's commentary says. And interestingly, Vyasa's commentary begins with yoga is samadhi. Yoga samadhi. Vyasa is not beating around the bush. So here, look at how far we've come in the present age. Present day age, people think yoga is all this acrobatics and gymnastics. It has nothing to do with this. Vyasa very clearly says yoga is samadhi. The tradition is apaurisheya, means it is not from any person. It is given by the sages from revelations in their meditation. It is very ancient. Nobody knows when it came. Yoga is there in all the scriptures, Vedas. They all talk about this as even before all these were even composed. So yoga has been there from time immemorial. Now, now Vyasa classifies people's mind into these 5 categories. Some of them are not quite ready to understand these subtle topics. Kshipta is the restless mind, which is naturally restless, has no patience or intelligence necessary for contemplation of Swami Hariharananda calls it a super sensuous subject. That is a very subtle subject, and it cannot comprehend any subtle principle. Through intense envy or malice, such a mind can at times be in a state of concentration, but that is not yogic concentration. Swami Hariharananda very clearly tells this. All these intense states of concentration due to anger or focus due to anger and those kind of things, or greed, these are not yoga. So Shipta, restless mind. Then the Muda mind. It is a stupefied mind. Mudam means just stupid, right? So Muda, stupefied. The mind has no obsession, has obsession or infatuation in a matter connected with the senses. It is unfit to think of subtle principles. It's called a stupefied mind. It is just the reason why stupefied is used is that it is not thinking about the right things. It's just going into all the infatuation and other things. Shipta is restless. This one is too much attachment. And then Vikshipta, it is sometimes it is restless, sometimes it's concentrated. That's where most of us fall. And slowly, this can be moved to Ekagra, one pointed, at which point all these principles will become very clear. And finally, the Niruddha. So this is the arrested mind. Here, it is completely arrested. Ekagra is one pointed, but it's generally one pointed, but it can also follow. Ekagra is complete control. Niruddha is complete control, total arrest of the mind from deep samadhi. So Vyasa dismisses the first two, and also he also dismisses the third as not yoga. And Vachaspati Mishra, he adds to that. In these states, the mind is possessed by the enemies, desire, anger, lethargy, where one might focus momentarily, and that focus is not generated by the self's will, but is usually forced by the intensity of an external object. Therefore, it does not count as Nirodha, means controlled restriction. You have control. So it is not yoga. So the detailed meaning of Sutra 1 as per Vyasa's commentary, here begins the study of the discipline, yes, discipline of yoga, transmitted in accordance, anu, following the ancient lineage for the student whose mind is prepared. Tasya prashanta